let's get into teaching you how to fly a heli. It's actually very easy. Most people don't realise that there's just a setting in the settings you just need to change. So let's get over there and have a look. Right, first thing you want to do is get yourself over to Bandit Camp. I would advise going into a heli test server where you can just learn how to fly. You'll pick it up really quick as soon as I tell you this little secret that I don't think many people have even realised you can do it. But anyone that is flying a heli right now has 100% done this. So we're going to go for the mini copter, and then we'll come back and get the attack heli. The little scrap heli is just exactly the same as the others, just slow. Exactly the same as, near enough, more similar to this heli, the scrap heli is, I would say. The attack heli is quite different. So let's get it go. Right, first of all, hold X to dismount, hold A on Xbox to dismount. Fuel storage over here, add your fuel in. Sit on it and hold R2 or RT for Xbox, R2 for PlayStation. Hold it down until you start levitating. Do not click in the analog because this will happen. Analog, clicking in the right analog is for wheel movement. So you can roll, also ski movement. So the attack heli will have skis instead of wheels. It will just work the same way. So then you could also do this, start moving forward, and then click in the analog and take off. But I wouldn't advise doing that for a first time flyer. So right, what you want to do is you want to get up into the air by holding R2 or RT, and then it's just slight adjustments. So you're turning left and right. You want to mainly just turn left and right, but as you turn left and right, you need to balance yourself back out. So if you're going forward, so we're going this way. This is west, southwest. If we go southwest, southwest, and then we turn, it's going to kick us to the left. So then we want to balance ourselves back out with the leaning. So the rolling function, I believe it's called. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you back to base, and I'm going to show you the controls on what I'm doing here. So right, you need to remember when flying helicopters, it's like it in real life. So realistically, it's slight adjustments. If you look down at the thing, so you can't really see it change. You'll see it in the attack heli, I think. So as we're coming down here, you don't want to be coming down too fast, because if you tip too forward, you're just going to go straight down to the ground. So it's always tapping as well. So you want to start tapping the RT, LT, R2, L2. Don't be holding it down like crazy, because it will mess you up. You can get over to the edge and then press in the analog, and it will pop you straight down onto the floor. Just remember that if you hold R2 or RT or L2 or LT, it's going to push you forwards and backwards. So here we get to the settings. Obviously to stop it, you just jump off, hold X, hold A, and it will dismount. Take your fuel out. Don't ever leave your fuel in there, because people are just going to steal it. They can push it off the edge. Just don't leave your fuel in there. This is obviously a test server for flying helis. It's not built for PvP or anything like that, so you don't have to worry that much. But anyway, let's get down to these settings, and I'll show you what you actually need to do. Most people are not even going to tell anyone because they're so stingy, but we'll have a look and walk everyone through it. So go into controls. This top part I missed this when I first started playing Rust again. I haven't played Rust in a long time. I've been playing Armour, and so now I've come back to Rust. I completely missed this, so I couldn't find a head look or anything like that. So then now I'm actually looking at it. I've taken time, and I've actually had a look. I have actually found the setting. So if we go right, we start on standard. So R1, R1, RB, RB will take you to aerial. So you want to look at aerial, and if you look at the bottom right hand side of the controller screen, you will see a button that says press square to change control layout, sticks, and switch sticks. Hold. So you press square, it will change the attacks and flares. But what you actually want to do is you want to hold it. So if you hold it, it's going to flip these around. See, if you look at the analogs, they've moved now. So this how you see it now is exactly how you start the game. So you want to hold it down, switch it over. So your roll and pitch is on your left analog, your turning is on your right analog, and this is an absolute game changer, because the way muscle memory works is if you have played other games, most games will roll and pitch on the left analog. So and turn, well, normally I don't use the right analog on games for turning at all. Normally my right analog is for free look. It would be great if Rust could implement that. So the right analog is free look, left analog is pitch and roll, and R1 and L1 could be turn left and right, and that would make the heli flying so much better. But what we've got to put up with now is this, and it does work. It does work quite well, to be fair. It's not as good as other games, but it does work very well. As soon as you change these settings, it will be an absolute game changer. So right, we're gonna go back out of these, and then kill ourselves and go and have a look at the attack heli. Right, back at the outpost. See if I can grab any rockets. Oh, I got something. Right, run into the helipad, the airwolf. Let this guy take off. And we're going to come over here, and over here. Click on, I'd like to buy a heli. He just crashed. I'd like to buy a attack helicopter. Sure, pay, boom, done, perfect. So then, right here is rockets. So you stick the rockets in here. Fuel is here. Stick the fuel in here. And you also have an auto turret here, which I believe is not an auto turret, but you can put most guns in there. And then the secondary player can use the screen that's about to turn on in front of me and use that for basically attacking other players. You can attach an AK to the front of it and use it as a gunner camera, kind of like Armour, to attack other players and attack bases, etc. So right, the way this works is you've got the compass in front of you, you've got your fuel gauge, and you've got your altitude in front of that. So obviously the higher you go, the higher altitude you'll get. I believe the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is maybe, from what it looks like hundreds of feet, not thousands. So on Armour that would be thousands. Whereas you've got your fuel gauge, I believe the fuel gauge does work. And then you've got your red light and your green light above the compass. So what that actually does, which I imagine most people haven't actually, most people don't actually know yet, is it's your rockets. So right now, you've got a fully loaded set of rockets in there. So if we fire these rockets, let them rockets hit, so that was 6 rockets, you see the light's gone red now. So So once that light goes back to green again, as it just did, we can fire again. And right now, so that was 12 rockets, whereas I had only put 9 rockets in there, so I don't know how this is working so far. I believe each rocket must be a few rockets or a couple of rockets. See that? I've just done another 3 rockets, which is strange. But okay, that's new. But as you see now, I've run out of rockets. The red light on the left hand side has gone. It works the same way as with the auto turret on the front. With the screen in the front, if you have a secondary person, a gunner, flying along with you, they will be firing. Say you've attached an AK to the front of it, they'll be firing the AK. Once the AK runs out of ammo, that light will pop up red, and then once it's reloaded, it will pop up green again, so you can know the turret is reloaded basically. Right, so get in with the flying with this heli. You see something's blowing up down there. Base. But anyway, to get into the flying with the heli is a lot more sensitive, like the attack heli is a lot more sensitive than the other helis. And this is purely because it is an attack heli. So I think it can gain more speed faster. So if we do this, we should be able to gain a bit of speed. There's a technique you can do where you can gain quite a lot of speed from quite a stationary position, and I'm still trying to master that technique. So I will get around to it, and once I do, I will post it. But flying a heli is generally really easy. Once you know how to do it, it's generally really easy. So it's just slight adjustments. I'm barely tilting forwards when I'm flying. I'm using the turn and the roll a lot more than I'm using pitch. So where it's pitch, don't ever, like I said earlier, don't ever just do this, because it will just knock you straight down to the ground, and if you don't have the controls up to scratch, you are going to dive straight down to the ground and die. Also, don't hold L2 or LT too much, because you'll come down and you'll smash against the ground. You don't want to be doing that. You want to be doing slight adjustments, taps. You can hear me tapping the R2 right now. This is generally how I play Armour, and I've learned playing Armour. I've got over 1,000 hours in Armour, and that's purely flying helicopters. So you can either take the advice or not, it's completely up to you. But everything I have just showed you will get you flying in Rust New Gen. Thanks for watching.